Welcome to Maven. The aim of this tutorial is to introduce you to interacting with the Maven program. There is another tutorial, Participants' Introduction to Maven, we encourage you to watch that provides a general overview of what the Maven simulation is all about, and that offers a couple of tips concerning general marketing strategies. We encourage you to watch that video prior to watching this one. The Participants' Introduction tutorial will give you a sense of what Maven involves. This tutorial focuses specifically on how to work with the Maven software. You start by logging into Maven using your username and password. You enter the simulation at Industry Central. Unless your instructor has enabled Solo Exam, you will see only two icons, Team Play and Solo Play Practice. If you click on one of the icons, you will enter the simulation. I'm clicking on Solo Play and I'm taken to the screen you see here. You'll note that you see a tip reminding you of the composition of Mavelandia. By clicking on Tips, you can review many of the basic details about the setup of the Maven industry. You operate Maven through the drop-down menus shown in the tabs. As mentioned earlier, all versions of Maven, Maven Team Play, Maven Solo Practice, and Maven Exam are very much alike. They require the same set of decisions, have the same reports, and operate in much the same way. The only difference in menu choices concern how the quarters of play are processed. In Team Play, the Maven administrator processes a quarter once all participants have completed their decisions, while in Maven Solo, you can process a quarter whenever you're satisfied with your set of decisions. In Maven Solo, your computer-managed competitors are ready with their decisions whenever you're ready. By the way, don't be intimidated by the fact that you're competing against the computer in the Solo mode. The computer-managed companies are designed to provide you with a challenge, but they are not all-knowing geniuses. Once you become familiar with the simulation, you should be able to compete effectively. When you click on Marketing Decisions in the Marketing tab, you see the basic set of decisions you must make each quarter. Decisions are entered just as you might guess. Click on the box you want and type in the number you wish. You need to understand that the entries for some of the decisions you make differ from others. For example, the entry for quality is a per unit expenditure. You could spend 10 cents per unit or $3 per unit on quality. On the other hand, features development is a total lump sum expenditure. You might invest $1,000 or $10,000. The more you invest, the more likely it becomes that a feature will be added to your product. To help keep track of what each of your entries mean, if you hover your cursor over or left click on any of the decision variables, you'll see information regarding that variable. As you enter your decisions, your pro forma or forecasted statements are updated in real time. Notice that I'm estimating net income after taxes for product 1 at $47,237 given the set of decisions I've made. Now let's assume that I want to increase the price of product 1. As soon as I enter the price box, you see that the Region 1 sales revenue is highlighted on the income statement. When I change the price, the impact of this price increase will immediately be reflected in the income statement. As you would expect, if I increase my price, my revenue and profits will increase. Of course, the revenue increase you see here assumes that the unit sales for this product are unchanged, an unrealistic assumption. If I jack my price up from $19.47 to $25, I can expect my sales to decrease. Right now I'm guessing that my mix of marketing expenditures will yield sales of 25,800 units. I might guess that jumping my price to $25 for product 1 in Region 1 might result in a decline in sales to say 15,000 units. Notice when I input 15,000, my net income after taxes for product 1 drops to $46,088. Before making the changes in price and forecasting sales, my net income was over $47,000. So this price increase looks like an unwise move. By manipulating your expenditures and sales forecasts, you can play out what-if scenarios to see how your profits will be affected. The other set of decisions you must make are found under Research Decisions. On this panel, you can order sales potentials for your products, and you can order marketing research for any or all of your competitors. Once you've ordered the research information you want and you're satisfied with your decisions, you're ready to move on to the next quarter. If you're playing Maven Solo, you can hit the Industry tab and process the quarter. If you're in Team Play, you must wait for your instructor to process the quarter. When a quarter has been processed, you can see how your decisions actually turned out. To demonstrate what occurs when a quarter is completed, I've processed this quarter. Note that when a quarter is processed, the simulation automatically advances to the next quarter of play. You see here that the legend at the top of the panel reads Quarter 6 Forecast. To see your actual performance for Quarter 5, click on the Quarter tab and move back to Quarter 5. You see that the legend now reads Quarter 5 Actual. If I select Industry Performance Report, I can see how my company fared relative to the other companies in my industry. My news in this case is pretty dismal. I can see that my company is last in sales and last in income. The good news is that I have plenty of room for improvement. I can see more detail on the performance of my company by choosing one of the company reports. Looking at the cash flow statement, I can see that the short-term loan that I took out of almost $1.5 million was enough to cover my expenses and enabled me to avoid incurring an emergency loan at a high interest rate. I can also see how my competitors manage their firms by looking at the marketing research report. Of course, I only get the information that I was willing to pay for. So that's basically how Maven works. This, of course, is just a cursory overview. There's a learning curve you must confront to become proficient at the simulation, just as there would be if you were to take over as manager of a real business. For example, you must learn the timing of the impact of your decisions. Most decisions are implemented in the quarter in which they're requested, but product ordered from the subcontractor is received the quarter after it's ordered. Also, consumer magazine and trade publication advertising has a carryover effect. That is, advertising impacts sales not only in the quarter in which it's run, but also has some impact on the following quarter. There are a number of resources available to help you learn the simulation. The most complete source of information is the participant manual. You can access the manual from Industry Central. We've already mentioned the tips. Among the tips is information on when various actions take effect. There also are a number of video tutorials designed to provide greater depth on certain aspects of the simulation. We can't encourage you strongly enough to take advantage of these resources, especially the video tutorials. They're invaluable for getting you up to speed on the simulation quickly. As you move beyond the first couple of quarters, Maven also provides you with some handy graphs so that you can easily track your activities. You may have noticed that the Maven dashboard changes from displaying tips to showing summary information on the condition of your company. Similarly, once there's enough data to graph, Maven permits you to see the trends in your decisions. Say, for example, that you want to see how the demand for your products has varied over time. You can click on the quick graphs to see the pattern of demand. Finally, we offer some tips for succeeding in Maven. Probably the single greatest source of underperforming in Maven arises from failure to coordinate inventory control and marketing activities. As you enter your decisions, consider the effect they will have on the sales of your product. You should think carefully about this impact, and the sales forecasts you input should reflect your thoughts. Your sales forecast should affect the orders you place with your subcontractor. Carrying excessive inventory and/or stocking out is one of the surest ways to drive your company to ruin. Similarly, failure to consider the impact of your marketing activities on your cash needs and to request appropriate short-term loans also can have a devastating effect on your company. Requesting excessive loans results in paying interest on unused cash, but failing to request a sufficient loan results in incurring an emergency loan at a very high interest rate. Choose strategies that make sense. You're likely to have great difficulty earning a profit if you offer a high-quality product at a low price. Make sure your marketing mix hangs together. Choosing an advertising message claiming low price will be counterproductive unless you really are charging a low price. Avoid the nice-to-know trap. Research costs money. Don't order information that would be interesting but wouldn't help improve your decision-making ability. And finally, a couple of points worth repeating. It isn't uncommon for participants to complain, "Maven is malfunctioning. We didn't receive the number of units we ordered." You must keep the 1-quarter delay in mind. Another complaint is, "We ordered marketing research, but we didn't receive it." To see your marketing research, you must be in an actual results, not in a forecast mode. Use the quarter tab to move to the quarter you need. Your pro forma financial statements will only be as good as the sales forecasts you enter. An important skill both in real business organizations and in Maven is being able to predict accurately the sales that will result from a given set of marketing expenditures. Failure to be a good estimator will have negative consequences for your planning efforts. And remember to take out short-term loans when you need them. Well, that's all for now. One last recommendation. Take advantage of the resources available to you to learn the simulation. Watch the videos. Experiment with the simulation. Use the participants manual when you need it. The better you understand the simulation, the better you'll perform. What you learn from participating in the simulation is a function of what you put into it. We are strong believers in simulations as a learning tool. We hope that you really enjoy Maven and that you find it to be a great learning experience. Good luck.